found it challenging to forgive someone who has deeply hurt you? Do you realize that we want forgiveness to be instantaneous? However, it is important to know that forgiveness is like grief. You need time to process it. If you are on a journey to forgiveness and want to understand the feelings that come with it, this video is for you. Join me, Simi, as I break down the 5 emotional stages we go through on the path to forgiveness. So forgiveness is like a mental tidy up session. It's like spring cleaning for your emotions, clearing out all that built up resentment, grudges, and that clutter in your mind. It's not about saying what happened was okay. It's about reclaiming your peace of mind and saying, I am done letting this negativity take up space in my head. So let's grab our mental trash bags, toss out that bitterness, and make room for good vibes and new opportunities to flood in. Let's now explore the 5-step journey to reach the miracle of forgiveness. The first stage is denial. Now we've all been there, right? When something happens that hits hard, instead of facing it head on, we try to sweep it under the rug. That's denial in action. Imagine this. You've poured your heart and soul into a relationship, only to have it shattered by betrayal or deceit. It's like a punch to the gut, isn't it? But instead of acknowledging the pain, what do? We brush it off saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Or maybe I'm just overreacting. We also try that classic move of rationalizing the other person's behavior. Convincing ourselves that they didn't mean to hurt us or that they were just going through a rough patch. We make excuses for them, all to avoid facing the harsh truth. Denial might give us temporary respite from the pain, but it's like putting a band-aid on a deep wound. It doesn't solve anything. In fact, it just prolongs the agony. We also use the good old avoidance tactic. We throw ourselves into work, drown ourselves in social activities, anything to keep us from confronting those uncomfortable emotions. But guess what? Those emotions are still there, lurking beneath the surface, waiting to be dealt with. So here's my challenge to you. Don't let denial hold you back. Face those feelings head on, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. Because only when we acknowledge the pain can we bring to heal ourselves and ultimately find the strength to forgive. It's not easy, but trust me, it's worth it. Let's take that first step together, shall we? The second stage of forgiveness, which is anger. Picture this. You have been hurt, betrayed, or wronged in some way. As the reality of what happened sinks in, what's the first thing you feel? That's right, anger. Now hold up a second. Before you start feeling guilty about getting mad, let me tell you something. It's totally okay to feel angry. In fact, it's more than okay. It's natural. Anger is your mind and body's way of telling you that something ain't right. It's like a fire burning inside you, demanding to be heard and acknowledged. Anger isn't just about pointing fingers or throwing a fit. It's a signal, a wake-up call that something needs to change. Maybe you're mad at the person who hurt you, or maybe you are mad at yourself for letting it happen. Heck, you might even be mad at the universe for throwing you a curveball. The thing is, how you deal with that anger is what really matters. You can either let it consume you, eating away at your peace and happiness, or you can harness its energy and use it to propel yourself forward. That's right. Turn that anger into fuel for growth and healing. The third stage towards forgiveness is the bargaining stage, where we often wrestle with a sense of powerlessness and seek ways to regain a sense of control over the situation that caused us hurt or pain. In this stage, there are attempts to negotiate with oneself, with others involved, or even with a higher power in an effort to make sense of what happened and to elevate the distress caused. For instance, someone who has been betrayed by a close friend, in the bargaining stage, they might engage in internal negotiations such as, "If only I had been more attentive, this wouldn't have happened. I'll be a better friend from now on, and maybe things will go back to how they were." Or you may say, "I promise to never trust anyone again. If I build walls around myself, I won't get hurt like this again." In this stage, we make promises to ourselves or set conditions in an attempt to prevent similar pain occurring to us in the future. In some cases, we may seek revenge as a form of bargaining. For example, you may find yourself saying, "I'll make sure they suffer as much as I have. They need to understand the pain they've caused me." Seeking retribution is an attempt to regain a sense of justice or balance by inflicting pain or harm upon the person who caused the hurt. We may also engage in wishful thinking or attempt to reverse the situation. For instance, if I apologize and beg them for forgiveness, maybe they'll take me back and things will go back to how they were. Or perhaps you may say, "Perhaps if I acted differently, this wouldn't have happened. I'll do everything in my power to turn back time and change the outcome." Trying to reverse what has happened is a common response to feelings of regret and a desire to undo the pain that has been caused. And then there are others who turn to spirituality or religion. Not that it's wrong, but during this bargaining stage, people do that. They seek guidance or intervention from a higher power. For example, "God, if you make the situation right, I promise to be a better person." Negotiating with a higher power involves making promises or seeking assistance in an attempt to find relief from the pain and distress. Again, it's important to recognize that while bargaining may provide temporary relief, true healing and forgiveness often require acceptance and letting go of the need for things to be different. Fourth and a very crucial stage in the journey of forgiveness is acceptance. Healing begins when we embrace acceptance. Acceptance isn't about pretending everything's okay when it's not. It's about facing the reality of the situation head on, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Think of it like this: you can't navigate your way through a storm if you refuse to acknowledge it's raining. So let's break it down. Acceptance means allowing yourself to feel all the messy emotions that come with the tough stuff. It's okay to be angry, sad, or disappointed. Those feelings are a part of the healing process. By giving yourself permission to feel them, you are actually taking a big step forward. But, acceptance also means letting go of the need for things to be different. Trust me, I get it. We've all had those moments where we wished we could turn back time and rewrite the script, but dwelling on what could have been won't change a thing. Acceptance is about embracing the present moment, no matter how imperfect it may seem. Face the truth of your situation. Feel all the feels. And let go of the need for things to be different. Because when you do, you will find a sense of peace and resilience that will carry you through even the toughest of storms. The last stage of forgiveness is forgiveness itself. It's about letting go of all that nasty stuff, the resentment, the bitterness that's been eating away at you. Trust me, holding on to that stuff is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It just doesn't work. So forgiveness is about freeing yourself from that toxic mess and reclaiming your peace of mind. And the whole revenge thing, that burning desire to get even. Yeah, forgiveness is about putting out that fire. It's realizing that seeking revenge only adds fuel to the flames and keeps you stuck in a never-ending cycle of hurt. Instead, forgiveness is about finding a better way to move forward, the one that doesn't involve plotting someone else's downfall. Also, forgiveness isn't just about letting go of the bad stuff, it's also about embracing the good stuff like compassion and understanding. It's about seeing the person who hurt you as flawed, just like the rest of us, and recognizing that maybe they were dealing with their own demons. It's not excusing their behavior, but it's understanding that only hurt people hurt people. And guess what? When you choose forgiveness, you are doing yourself the biggest favor of all. You're setting yourself free from the chains of the past. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Forgiveness is a journey and it's different for everyone. You might go through these stages in a different order, or you might find yourself stuck in one stage longer than the others. And you know what? That's totally okay. Remember, forgiveness isn't a one size fits all solution, and it may not always be possible or appropriate in every situation. But by understanding these stages, you are taking the first step towards healing and reconciliation. So be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and trust that in time, you'll find the peace and freedom you deserve. Keep on moving forward and never underestimate the power of forgiveness. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.